Hi guys, welcome back to the Sicilian Revival. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have an away game against Atalanta and a home game against Frosinone. It's our last two games of the season, and we have an opportunity potentially to finish in the top half of the table. If we can pick up results in these last two games, we could finish as high as ninth place, which is, the lowest we can finish is 12th. It's a great achievement. We've had a fantastic season here this year and there's going to be a lot of improvements to be made going into next season. We're already looking into moving on one or two players, and we're already looking at trying to bring one or two players in, depending on what happens budget wise. We're struggling with knocks and injuries, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We're at the stage of the season where things need to be done, and hopefully we can go out there and get a good result today against Atalanta and or Frosinone. Um, and finish the season well because we certainly deserve it, if truth be told. And it says that we've had bad form. We haven't really. Um, we lost 1-0 to both Juventus and Inter Milan, and they just outplayed us. And we did have one or two chances in both games, but again, we just didn't have that necessary quality. And that was that. But we have an opportunity today. I mean, Atalanta's still fighting um, to qualify for the Champions League places at the moment. So this is also going to be a very tough game, but we are just obviously we're coming to the end of the season. We are struggling a little bit with fitness wise for a few players. Nunziante's just been beaten there by Gaeta. It's 1-0 to Atalanta after just 5 minutes. And it's unfortunate, but again, it is what it is. Um, we know we're safe, and either way, we're going to be finishing in and around mid-table. As Gaeta here with a free kick, swings it in. It's just over the crossbar. But it's been a pretty lackluster start from our point of view. We need to pick it up a little bit. And to be honest, we'll demand a little bit more. Atalanta are our rivals, and we need to really be on point, if truth be told. And hopefully we can just pick it up a bit as the half goes on. Vasic here into Higo, back to Vasic. And now Mamadou Ba into Bangora. And it's a defensive error, and Rahman's got to do better. Rahman's another one who I'm up 50-50 on at the moment. He's not really stepped into the fold as much this season. Fortunately, Higo's picked up an injury now as well. And you can tell we're at the end of the season. Like I say, players struggling for fitness, struggling to keep away of injuries. But it's been a very competitive season, and we've done extremely well to do what we have done this year. We've overachieved by quite a margin. Going into next season, we have got some big decisions to make, and we'll have to sell players in order to bring players in, I think. And if it really comes down to it, we could end up having to make some big decisions. Um, Veteran goalkeeper Brazil has decided he wants to leave the club. He's been a great servant at the club. It's fair enough as Bangora there hits the crossbar and Atalanta managed to get it clear. Um, Rahman, I'm not too sure of at the moment. Malaka, we're looking at selling him and Capetti as well. So there's going to be quite a turnaround of players, I think, over the summer. And I've already earmarked one or two players that we can bring in to replace them. But from a financial perspective, the amount of money that we can sell players for versus the amount of money we'll have to pay to get players in, there's a big difference, unfortunately. So we might not be able to do as much business as I'd like, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. We've already confirmed one deal for the summer, which I'm quite looking forward to. But in the meantime, we'll have to see what happens in the way of budgets as well, which will come at the end of today's episode also. Verratti into Sacco plays it all the way back to Nunziante. We're just struggling to find that breakthrough at the moment. Atalanta looking very, very solid at the moment as Rahman. Again, he's had a poor game, hasn't he? You know what? I think Rahman is starting to write his own um, certificate for being gotten rid of at the moment. It's really not working out for him. And we'll bring Rivera on for him. Maron can go up front, Bar can go out on that right hand side. And I think that's one too many bad performances from Rahman this season. He could be another one that ends up leaving. and Vlasic with the strike there. Good save from Nunziante. Um, I mean, he's played so well last year, Rahman, but unfortunately, he's not dealt with the step up very well. And I think he's a good young player, don't get me wrong, but he's not even broken into the Norway side. I think it's potentially going to be time for him to leave as well. So, again, another big decision potentially to be made there. And Demosthenes coming forward, finding Vlasic, and there is the second goal. And Atalanta have deserved it. Nikola Vlasic with the finish. And it'll be a shame to end the season on a bit of a whimper, but I mean, looking at the match stats, we have been poor today. We'll drop a bit of encouragement to the lads just to try and cheer them up a little bit. We're certainly capable. We've proven that in a number of matches this season, but I think we do need to add a little bit of extra quality in certain areas of the pitch. Gaeta with a delivery toward the far post, and there is the header from Lucati to make it 3. Unfortunately, when we lose games, we lose quite heavily a lot of the time. When we did it against AC Milan, we lost by 4 goals to 0 against them. Here's Morone with a delivery toward that far post, and it's comfortably cleared. And Mamadou Ba does pick it up and finds Ross. And now Compady coming down this right hand side, plays it into Mamadou Ba and Karnaseki making a comfortable save really there. But again, we've not really covered ourselves in glory today. And a good punch clear from the keeper that time. And Gaeta is going to beat Bar to it there. And in the end, Bar, a bit lazy, but he ends up giving away a free kick. And we have a free kick of our own here. Hopefully we can create an opportunity. Verratti with the ball at his feet. Plays it into Bangora, into Marone. And I mean, Mamadou Ba, he's finished it well, but he was miles offside there. So it'll remain 3-0 going into these last 10 minutes. But I mean, you can see it's so many unhappy players in today's game. It's not been a good performance at all. Again, we'll offer a bit of encouragement, but performance-wise, we have been very poor today, and we've deserved thoroughly to get beaten. It's a shame, but we can't win them all, and we know that we have to strengthen the squad next season anyway. But we go into our last game of the season against Frosinone, hoping we can end the season on a high. If we can beat Frosinone, we could still finish as high as 9th, but obviously Lazio, Fiorentina and Sassuolo with games in hand at the moment. So we'll see what happens in those matches as well. It's 8 days to go until that last game of the season. So bear with me while we get through that. And then we'll be back for that game. Higo, they're out for, well, he's finished, his season's finished. Vasic is okay. And that is pretty much that. But in terms of the squad at the moment, Kumbedi's struggling for fitness. Higo's injured, Schmidt's injured, Rivera and Rahman struggling for fitness. And I think Rahman's done, to be honest. He is actually wanted by Espanyol, incidentally. We'll see if we can stretch out a little bit of money for him. If we can get around £3 million, I'll be quite pleased, if truth be told. But Vasic has got a knock, Brazil's injured, which is unfortunate, really. I was planning on playing him for his last game for the club. Nunziante's still got a knock as well. Incidentally, since playing, he's really improved recently. He really has improved his game a lot. And I think we do have a very good goalkeeper on our hands in the shape of Nunziante. Teddy Brune hasn't made a single appearance, I don't think, since coming in, funnily enough. No, he hasn't. He's a reasonably enough backup goalkeeper. He knows that's what he's here for, so can't complain too much. Well, the home game against Frosinone is to come, so bear with me. We'll come back for that one, and hopefully we can end the season on the high with 3 points. Okay then guys, here we go. It's the last game of the season. We're still sat in 10th place. We're 2 points ahead of Fiorentina, who are away against Bari for the last game of the season. And we could still catch Lazio. They're away against AC Milan. And if they get beaten heavily and we get a good win today, we may even finish in 9th place, which again, I mean, I'm happy with where we are, if truth be told. We could finish potentially as low as 12th if Sassuolo get a good result and we don't. They're at home against Atalanta. So we are going to rotate a couple of positions today just because of fitness concerns. Angelone is going to come in at right back And Sacco and Burdick are coming in to partner in midfield. Rahman will get his chance on that right-hand side one last time. Barr is going to start up front with Rivera on the left. We're rotating a little bit. We're giving players the chance to perform today. And hopefully we can go out there and prove why we've ended up finishing in mid-table. Incidentally, Frosinone are already relegated. So, big opportunity for a couple of these players. Likes of Rahman, Burdick, Sacco, all potential players that could leave, if truth be told. Burdick's been a bit part player. Sacco's not really settled into the side this season. It could be a very busy summer for us, and it could be a big turnaround of players as well. Ratnik here plays it across to Niakate. Gaetano just holds on to it, finds Nanasi. It's a good strike, and in the end, it's just wide. Nunziante not quite able to get there, but it doesn't matter because, like I say, it did go wide. And this team is strong enough to to get the result today. There's no reason why we shouldn't. We're certainly more than capable. As Verratti picks it up here and plays it inside to Musto, who, to be fair, he's not the best of players that we've got at the club, Musto, but he's certainly settled into a rhythm at the club. And a bit of a defensive error there, and Mamadou Bar has picked it up and struck it with plenty of venom. But unfortunately, it went off target. Instead of him focusing on where he was hitting it, he focused on just putting as much power on it as possible, and it did not work out. But I mean, it's got that end of season vibe to it, hasn't it? I mean, Fiorentina still at 0-0 in their game, likewise Sassuolo and Lazio are level with AC Milan as well. So none of the sides really fighting to get anything else done at the moment. And hopefully, going into the second half, we can just fire the boys up a bit and get a bit of a better performance. I mean, in terms of chance creation, we're dominating. Possession-wise, we're not looking too bad either. But we're just missing that that killer instinct. But of course, we're not fighting for anything today. We'll drop a bit of encouragement down there and see if we can just find that extra goal scoring opportunity. Mustafa into Everaldo. Good interception by Vasic. Fires it into Mamadou Bar. Good control from him. Finds Rivera. Chance to get it into the penalty area. Still going. Rivera goes on and unfortunately strikes over the crossbar. But a little bit of positive play, if nothing else. And with 15 minutes to go, I think that's going to be pretty much it. We are going to make a few changes just to save fitness, even though it is the last game of the season. Capecci coming on for potentially his last game for the club. Likewise, Malaka. Thiago Schmidt is fully fit to get in to the game for his last appearance for the club as well. He has done extremely well these last couple of years, Schmidt. But unfortunately, like I say, he has had an injury, so he will miss out for the most part. And Gambo is going to come on at left back. And with 10 minutes to go, hopefully we can find that opportunity just to get the win. Thiago Schmidt here with the delivery into the penalty area, swings it in, and it's easily cleared. Sacco nods it down. It's come down for Molteni, who goes into the penalty area. It's a great run, and it's been bundled in by Alexander Mlakar. It's his first goal of the season. He's really struggled in front of goal, to be honest. Since we bought him, he's struggled in front of goal. But he's managed to finally get on the score sheet this season. It's a very scrappy goal. It wasn't actually his first goal of the season, incidentally. It's his first goal for quite some time, though. He has scored a couple of goals, I think, in the odd match, but he's finally managed to score once again in what is probably going to be his last game. Capecci couldn't quite find Sacco. Good tackle from Lakar, though, and Sacco into Schmidt. And Schmidt goes into the penalty area, and Schmidt scores his seventh goal of the season. It's his last game for the club as well, of course. He's had 2 years here on loan. We might be able to extend it again, but he is earning more money now at Chelsea, so it could be a bit more difficult to get him in. But 2-0, we've deserved the victory. We've finally managed to break them down, and it's 2 goals in 2 minutes here. And job done. We've ended the season very, very well, really, overall, despite the games that we've lost. But we've gone out there and we've got the win. And the substitutions did make the difference. Schmidt and Mlaka both coming on and scoring the goals for us. A 2-0 victory to end the campaign. We certainly can't grumble at all. And we've hit 54 points, and we've finished ahead of Lazio, and that's based on our head-to-head record against them because they lost to AC Milan. So in the end, we've finished in ninth place. It is a phenomenal achievement for this football club that we've managed to finish in the top half of Serie A, and it certainly gives us plenty to try and build on as well. And Inter Milan have been crowned champions thanks to their win on the final day away against Roma. For finishing in ninth, we've only received £4.25 million. I thought it was going to be a bit more than that. Turns out Italy isn't necessarily a place where you can get a lot of money in these situations. So we'll just move it on a little bit. Obviously, the season is now over. We've finished mid-table, and now we need to see how things shape up in the way of budgets for next season. It shouldn't be too much longer, I don't think, and then we can have a look and see what's going on, ready for next season. There's already a few players that we're looking at, like I say, but we need to know exactly what we've got in the way of financial backing for the coming campaign. And it's still not coming through. It will do. Trying to get through it as quickly as possible, just so that it doesn't drag on too much. But here we go. We've finally got the budgets. And, well, we've received £700,000 with a £500,000 a week wage budget. And we're spending that in wages already. This could be a very difficult summer. We'll put a load of that in the scouting budget because we need to be scouting anyway. But so we go into next season after a very good season with no money. It just gets harder and harder, doesn't it? Well, I thought it was going to be a busy summer. We'll see what happens, won't we? So until next time, guys, thank you very much for all your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.